As a young girl, Malala Yousafzai defied the Taliban in Pakistan and demanded the girls be allowed to receive an education. She was shot in the head by Taliban gunmen in 2012. In 2014, she became the youngest person to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. She stood for the education of children, especially for girls, by breaking all the traditional views. Nowadays, we can see the girls of this age enjoying with their mobiles, WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, and whatnot, becoming addicted to all this stuff. But Malala is still fighting for the education right for all. Malala has two choices, either to be silent and die or speak and die. She chose the second one. I still remember one quotation of Malala, and that is a quotation which impressed me a lot because I'm a teacher, I think so. One child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world. What a prophetic word that is. Here comes another Shiro, Lakshmi Agarwal. Lakshmi Agarwal is an Indian acid attack survivor. Lakshmi was only 15 years old when she was became the victim of an acid attack for having refused to marry a man. She just said no. For the word no, she has to pay so much. Actually, I like to quote her words in order to make you understand the agony she has undergone. This is her quotation. This is a word she told in her article. That is when my dad finally reached the hospital and hugged me, his shirt singed from the acid still on my skin. I had multiple operations, including one where they had to sew my eyes shut while I was conscious. This was the words, and this through this word we can understand the agony that small girl has undergone. Later, she was struggling to get a job because of her face. He couldn't. Then she started the India's first cafe run by acid attack victims. She decided that if no one can employ them, they would. That is what she proved in this. Now she is a campaigner for the rights of acid attack victims. In 2006, she filed a case in the court to ban acid. She supports acid attack victim survivors in many ways, like rehabilitation, all these things, and fighting for their rights. They were given rights under the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016. Now, Lakshmi Agarwal's life was well depicted by Deepika Padukone in the film Chapak. A lot of women and men actively stood for women's rights. They have brought a lot of changes in our society. And next to the lawyers, we social workers have the opportunity to be aware about the rights. I feel it is a very great privilege for us. For instance, you can take the other degree students, they hardly know about the human rights, or some commerce students might be knowing about the corporate law. That's it. But we people will be knowing almost every law, and we will be working on it also. We will be fighting for we will be a social activist in sometimes. Sometimes we will be giving awareness to the people who need to know that. As we all know, awareness, ignorance of law is not an excuse. We are all in the position to enlighten the community about their rights. I salute this management and student community and faculty members for taking the initiative for educating you on different rights. Now I like to present the overview of the law related to the women, that every woman should know these acts and law. Many acts are introduced in India for women from birth till death in order to protect them and to empower them. First, let me begin with the conception. Preconception and Prenatal Diagnostic Technique Act 1994. Actually, what this act says, this act prohibits the sex selection before and after the conception. It regulates the use of prenatal diagnostic technique. In order to avoid female infanticide, this act is implemented. The next act says about the Hindu Succession Act 1956. This act states that daughters have equal right from the grandparents or from their parents' property, that is ancestral property or self-acquired property. Actually, the right starts from the womb. That is, the daughter's rights are same as that of son. The next act is the Commission of Sati Prevention Act 1987. Actually, the Sati Regulation Act 1829 was implemented by the Governor General, Lord William Bendrick, who made the practice of Sati illegal in all jurisdiction of India and subject to prosecution. Let us see what is Sati. You all know what is Sati, right? It is a gruesome and horrible practice where the widow women burned or buried alive along with the deceased husband. Those days, later, the Commission of Sati Prevention Act 1987 was introduced. The practice of first act says about the regulation. The second act says about the prevention of the act. The practice of voluntary or forced burning. You can't voluntarily do that, or you can't force the person to do that, or you can't bury a person alive. This will be a punishable act. Those days, in the very young age, very tender age, the girls are being married to a boy, and due to some reasons that boy might be dying, or that boy gets some disease and that boy would die. In that tender age itself, they murder her in the name of Sati by throwing her in the fire. That is really brutal. Anyway, the day has gone. Children Marriage Restrict Act was replaced by Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006. This is to address the weakness of inherent in the former legislation. In 1978, wherein the legal age of the marriage of girls were raised from 15 to 18 years, and the boy from 18 to 21 years. It is not able to eradicate till now. Nowadays, the girls, they select the persons and they elope. And I like to quote a case. In this case, the girl was below the marriage age. The girl's family identified the girl's affair, and they restricted her not to do like this. What happens? She ran away from her house and she calls this boy and narrates this incident. What happens, as we see in the film, this boy comes and collects this girl and he gets help from his friends and he goes somewhere and he hides in some situation. Hardly 2 to 3 days they could hide. Meanwhile, the girl's family filed the girl missing complaint and police cops found them. What will be happening after this? Girl is below 18. First thing is the marriage will be void and the punishment will be severe to the boy. Even though they have, they would have a sexual relationship with mutual consent, it will be filed as a rape case because the girl is below 18. And the supporters shall be punished. All the supporters who gave the bike, who gave the accommodation, who gave on what type of, who all this boy called, they all will be punished. Okay, this is about Child Marriage Act, and we can shift to the Child Labor Act, where this act also says about the child, but there is no discrimination in this. Okay, the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act prohibits the child to do any work, any form of work. That is, child labor deprives, if the child works as a labor, he or she deprives as the children for their childhood, their potential, their dignity, and that is very harmful for their physical, mental, and social development. Our Article 21 states that the right to education. that the state shall provide free and compulsory education for all the children of the age of 6 to 14 years. It is actually the fundamental right, and this is the age of education. No one has a right to stop their education. Where Article 24 also says this, no child below the age of 14 years shall be employed to work in any factory or mine or to be engaged in any hazardous employment. This is what this Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act says. Similarly, another act which deals with the children is Juvenile Justice Act. Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2000. Okay. In this also, there is no gender discrimination in this act. I like to discuss about the institution in that. That is, we have the institution like Child Helpline, Child Welfare Committee, Child Protection Unit, and Juvenile Justice Board. You know the helpline number, that is 1098. We can call this number to rescue the child from child marriage, child labor, when you see the child standing alone or in an inappropriate situation. You can call this number to rescue that child. It is a duty of the social worker too. And Child Welfare Committee. When the police cops identify the child in different situations, they will bring this child to this committee. They would identify this child as whether they need care and support or this child is conflict with the law. If the child is in need of care and support, they will send this child to the Child Protection Unit. This Child Protection Unit will execute the order given by this committee. Next is the person who is conflict with the law. If the child is conflict with the law, they will send this child to the Juvenile Justice Board. The children with the conflict with the law will be sent to this board, and this board will be interrogated and will send to the observational board. This board consists of magistrate and social workers. One of the social worker will be the women. And the main important thing is that there should be a children-friendly approach. Okay. Then this, in short, we can say that this act classifies the children in two categories, that is children who need of care and support and children is conflict with the law. As this law says that juvenile and child, you want to know the age of the juvenile, right? The juvenile or child as per the act is below 18. When we were discussing about JJ Act, as we were discussing about the JJ Act, we also have to discuss about POCSO Act. That is Protection of Children from Sexual Offense. This act pinpoints the sexual offense against children. And let me bring out the context of this act. As you all know that Nirbhaya case, after the Nirbhaya case, everyone might be knowing that women in New Delhi gang raped in the running bus. They have inserted the iron rod through her genital part and thrown her away. This was so vicious. In this case, one of the accused was juvenile, that is below 18. He was sent to the observation home. After 3 years, he came out. During that time, all women committee and public raised their voice against this boy and his deed. Even though the law considered him as a child, his activity was not as a child. They wanted to bring changes in the act. That was really well taken by the government and brought changes. They have reduced the change in the sense that in the age group of 16 to 18, they commit any heinous crime like rape, murder, acid attack. They will be tried as they were adult. It is not retrospective in its operation. It means it does not affect which has completed and closed up earlier. This act with changes and with clarity put forward as a special act. Okay, we'll see the salient feature of this act. If both the victim and the accused is children or anyone is a child, children should not be interrogated in the police station because the children may be panic-stricken or afraid of police dress or the station atmosphere. They should give the child-friendly atmosphere. It is utmost important. An inquiry officer should not be below the rank of sub-inspector of police. And they should be in the civil dress. When the children gives statement, it should be in the in-camera proceeding. That is, there will be a steno, there can be a magistrate, and children can accompany with her mother if she is panic, and if they could understand the child's language, if they can have the translator.
Shobhi ma'am, can you unmute your mic?
Ma'am,
Is it okay?
yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Actually, we were discussing about the child, interrogating of the child. That trial will be proceeded to the Mahila court. And when we hear the name, the Mahila court, which deals with the sexual offense against women and children, that is, Mahila court will be having the women prosecutor and women judge. Okay, the Mahila court is considered as a special court and it has a speedy trial. And the important thing in this act is confidentiality. Confidentiality should be maintained. And another important thing, the children's identity should not be revealed. As we all do that, everyone will be doing this. That is, in some cases, we may support the child or the victim, and we will forward a lot of messages through WhatsApp, which would reveal their identity. It is actually punishable offense. Due to ignorance, we may forward the message, but ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Till now, we were discussing about the different kinds of act for the protection of children's rights and the womb till the adolescent age. Even we have acts to protect the children once they enter into the higher education. That is Anti-Ragging Act. Ragging is originally a Western concept and was originally a form of social interaction between seniors and juniors in the schools and colleges. After the murder of Ponnavarasu in 1996 in Tamil Nadu prohibited the Ragging Act 1997 and was enacted. Thus, Tamil Nadu became the first to implement anti-ragging legislation in India. The John David was convicted and was given double life imprisonment on 11th March 1998. Same year, the ragging was implemented as a Kerala Prohibition of Ragging Act 1998. So we can see the punishments given to this person who have done the ragging. That I have already told that John David was given double life imprisonment when it is heinous, when the crime is very hard, then they will be giving a imprisonment. Or else they may, first thing they will do is they will remove from the college. And 2 years imprisonment and fine of rupees 10,000. Never will be permitted to join private or government jobs during their lifetime. There is no gender discrimination in this act also. Both of them will get the same punishment. Actually, I like to discuss or ask because the self-defense is very important. And here we can see many girls are there. How many of them have downloaded the safety app? Do any women, girls downloaded the safety app? You can put it in the chat box if so. Do you know what is the safety app you have in Kerala? Chat box, no message. Do you know, have anybody downloaded this? No. I hope Snehajwala is one of the app you have in Kerala, I think so. I don't know how familiar it is. Actually, similar kind of app we have in Tamil Nadu, that is Kavalar SOS. It is for women, age and children. If you give long press in the panic button, it would share your location to the nearest police station, to your family members, and it will be easy for the police to identify your place and rescue you. It is very important we study the app, we the social workers are the people to enlighten the community, and we are supposed to teach others about the self-defense and the rights and how we should be. And we are supposed to download and we should know the app. Unless we know this app, we can't do that. And we should be the role model for doing this also. Okay, and we have different types of app that is Be Safe app. All this app we should use this app for defending us or else protecting us. We also have the women helpline number, that is 1091. That I hope everyone will be knowing that. Okay. Okay, next we can discuss about the Sexual Harassment of the Women at Workplace Act 2013. That seeks to protect women from sexual harassment at their place of work, that you all know. I like to bring the context of this act. Social worker was brutally gang raped for stopping a child marriage. Actually, it was a job and she was doing her duty. So when male performs his work, it goes smoothly. When women perform, she has to face such incidents. In order to perform her work without any hindrance, this act was implemented. At any institution, minimum 10 employees are employed, they have to constitute ICC. That is Internal Complaint Committee. The committee consists of a presiding officer, members, the 2 members should be there, and the member from outside, that is non-governmental organization. The presiding officer is required to be a women employee working in the senior level at workplace. The minimum 2 employees as a member with the experience of social work or have a legal knowledge or dealing with the women related aspects. 1 outside member from non-governmental organization, a person familiar with the issues relating with the sexual harassment. Totally we have the 4 members. They have to deal the problems inside the institution. The sexual harassment includes physical contact and advances, demand or request for sexual favors, and making sexual colored remarks, even showing them pornography, any unwelcome physical, verbal or non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. Actually, based on the gravity of the crime, the punishment will be decided, maybe the fine or maybe imprisonment, or sometimes it may be both. I like to share one video. After watching this video, you can share your views. I want you all to cooperate and interact with me. Unless you interact, it is very tough to take you forward. So let me share the video. Let me share the video. And that will be in different language. Can you hear the audio?
No, ma'am.
Audio is not. Just a minute. Just a minute. We'll make it okay. First one. First one. Now it's clear. Can you hear the audio?
No, we cannot hear.
The audio is not clear, it seems. Just a minute. Just a minute.
We can see
You can see the
film.
video. Okay, okay. We'll make it clear. Now, is it clear?
We cannot hear the voice.
Okay, I can explain this because you saw the video, and actually this character has come to shorten her hair. She wants to short her hair very much in order to avoid someone holding his hair and beating. That is, she don't want anybody to hold her and beat. This actually depicts the statement of the victim. Be it educated or uneducated women, domestic violence will rip apart the soul of women. Actually, it shows a picture of a victim. She don't wants to leave the hair. Actually, hair is the pride of the women. And if she wants to cut her hair because of the violence she is facing, it is very tough for a woman to move forward. The next followed by this video, I would show you that the protection of women from domestic violence. Actually, women experience threat both in their society and in home. The global statistic portrays that 1 in 5 women face domestic violence from their husbands. It is like an endemic and widespread disease. Not only physical violence, but also other forms of violence such as emotional, verbal, sexual, and economic violence. Actually, the highlight of this act is it covers physical and mental ill treatment of the person, and primarily meant for the protection of wife or the female living partners. It also extends to the sisters, widows, and mothers. When son beats his mother, it is also crime under this law. If a brother beats his sister, this is also a crime. The harassment of form of dowry demanding. If you demand dowry also, it is a crime under this act. This act gives a woman the right of secure housing. Okay, the court can also issue the protection order for the women. The act proposes the appointment of protection officer also and the NGO also. The breach of this protection order is a non-bailable offense. When we see the Domestic Prohibition Act 1961, this act intends to prevent giving or receiving the dowry. You know what is dowry? Dowry means the amount of property or money that is brought to her husband's house on their marriage time, right? We call it as dowry. And it not only, important thing is that it not only penalizes the act for giving and taking, but also for demanding dowry. In the matrimonial side, we can see that the expectation from the groom, that is all becomes as an offense here. Okay, the important thing in this act is, the salient feature of this act is burden of proof. In this case, the person who complains should, when we discuss about other act, we can see that they should bring the complaint with the evidence. In this act, they can file the case and they can be quiet. It is the duty of the either party to prove that they didn't demand dowry. Okay? When you complain in this act, it is against, really it is against the another woman. It may be the sister-in-law, it may be a mother-in-law. They are also punished. Actually, this act supports the women and also it punishes the women. And for that, I like to share you that we should not use this as a weapon. We can use this as a shield to move forward, to attain our goal. We can use this and we can move higher level. The next one is, next act I like to quote here is Indian Divorce Act 1969. It is said that marriages are fixed in heaven, but not in all cases. Some seems to be hell on earth to pacify the situation. Indian Divorce Act is enacted. The Indian Divorce Act allows the dissolution of marriage and with a mutual consent, even nullity of the marriage. If the either party was not in the legal age, the marriage will be nullified. At the time of marriage, one of the person is married to someone, then it is nullified. Judicial separation. It is also, it gives releases from the matrimonial duties and obligations for a certain period of time. Then another important thing is restitution of conjugal rights. Means right to stay together. If either the husband or the wife, without the reasonable excuse, withdraws from the society of the other, the aggrieved party may approach the court for restitution of conjugal rights. The only purpose of this restitution of conjugal rights is to prevent the breakups between the spouses. And also this act have family courts. Family courts are established there to file, to hear, to dispose such cases. Next act I like to present is indecent representation of women. As the name says, the act prohibits indecent representation of women through advertisement or in publication or writing, painting, or figures on any other matter. Next act I like to deal is medical termination of the Act 2017. Here, with a painful heart, I am showing the demise of Dr. Savita, who was denied of abortion and she died. She asked several times for her pregnancy to be terminated because she had severe back pain and was miscarried. The Irish law does not allow abortion when the fetus is alive. Actually, in India, medical termination of pregnancy is allowed from 2017 for certain pregnancies. If the abortion is done within 12 weeks of conception, should get opinion of one doctor, and it is done between 12 to 20 weeks, should get the opinion of two doctors. Now in 2020, we have amendment bill that extends the time period. That is up to 20 weeks, one doctor, and 20 to 24 weeks, two doctors. Then next act, I am shifting it to the protection of women in labor statutes. That is Equal Remuneration Act 1976. As the term suggests, the male and female should be paid equally for their work. That the quality of the work should be equal, the pay should be equal. Okay. This act is to make sure that employers do not discriminate on the basis of gender in matter of fixing the wage, transfer, training, promotion, and remuneration. It should be equal for same work. Our Article 39 also states that in particular shall in particular have a policies towards securing equal pay for equal work for both men and women. Next, we are coming to the important act, that is Maternity Benefit Act 1961. This act protects the employment of women during the time of maternity and sanction her the maternity benefit, that is fully paid in the absence of her work to take care of her child. Light work for 10 weeks before delivery, and no discharge or dismissal while she is on maternity leave. For miscarriage or medical termination of pregnancy, she can avail up to 6-week leave with the maternity benefit. For tubectomy, she can claim up to 2 weeks of leave with maternity benefit. For adoptive mothers, they can also avail leave for 12-week leave with the benefits of maternity benefits for the child below the age of 3 months. You have the crush facility also in the maternity benefit. The employer would provide crush within 500-meter proximity and allow 4 visits during the working hours. Actually, I'll be taking this in the next slide about the crush. Then next, we also in this act we have work from home option. Work from home option can be availed after the expiry of 26 weeks. Either the employer and the employee, that is a claimant who is applying for this, to decide the terms mutually how they should work. And it is important that the employer who gives the appointment from the date itself, they should mandatorily educate the women employee about the benefits available for them. Here, there are many acts which gives health, welfare, safety to all the workers. Next, we can view the act which deals with the health, safety, and welfare of the workers. Of course, it is for the male and female, where the women workers also benefited to this. You can see that the Factories Act 1948, Mines Act 1952, the Plantation Labor Act 1951, Building of Other Construction Worker Regulation and Employment Condition of Service Act 1996, BD and Cigarette Workers Condition of Employment Act 1966, Contract Labor Regulation and Abolition Act 1970, Interstate Migrant Workman Regulation and Employment Condition of Service Act 1979. Even though there are numerous other facilities to be offered to the factory workers, from that, I like to highlight the provision which is exclusively for the women. The women are provided with washing facility, where the women can wash their clothes, wash their uniform in the industries, that the provisions are provided. For drying also, and you can dried clothes can be folded and kept in a shelf. All the facilities will be availed in the industry. And when you see the bathing facilities also available for the women, and restrooms. Here, restroom means is the place where they can take rest after lunch, or they reach the place before the shift timing, they can take rice. And they will be given the separate latrines and urinals for women. The public utility amenities will be offered separately for the women at work. The employees now have the right to receive at least 24 hours notice before the change of their shift timing. And when we come to the safety measures, the industries are giving a lot of safety measures for the women and also to the children. Okay, because these two categories are considered as vulnerable, they are not allowed to clean or lubricate or adjust any part of the moving machines. Female workers are prohibited from working in dangerous occupation also. No woman or employee shall lift or carry or move ahead or any materials, articles, tools, appliance which is excessive of weight. Even in the canteen committee, canteen managing committee, there should be one women worker to represent their problems and want their need. The Mines Act 1952 prohibits the women employed in any part which is below the ground level. And next act says about the prohibition of night work. These industries, the above said industries also prohibit the women from working in the night shift. Women are not allowed to work in the night shift. If the industry is ready to give the accommodation and the transport facility, they can do it by getting permission of the state government, and they can allow the workers to work in the night shift. Otherwise, this act states that from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. they are not allowed to work. From this act, the Shops and Establishment Act 1953, it states that the women can work till 9:30 a.m. Sorry, p.m. Till after 9:30 p.m. they are not allowed to work in the shops and establishment. When we say shops and establishment, means it is a restaurant, theaters, and all types of things we call it as an establishment. Here is the next act which says of the crush facility. The crush facility is that is the Factories Act, Plantation Act, BD and Cigar Workers Act, and Building and Other Construction Workers Act avail the crush facility for the women. The employers employing 30 or more women workers, they should provide crush for the children. What is crush? Crush means the place where the small children are looked after while their parents are working. Women employee can bring their children below 6 years, and they can be looked after by the nurse. That is, trained nurse will be there. And management will be providing 4 breaks, that is including mother's break. Mother will be having 2 breaks. And that break, they can go and feed the children, and they can stay with the children, and they can come back to their work. And management will be providing milk and snacks to the children. This is what the facilities are given to the women workers. And when we see the Social Security, that is Provident Fund Act, Gratuity Act, and ESA Act is considered as a Social Security Act, where PF and Gratuity Act, where it gives lump sum amount after the retirement. In this act also, we don't have the discrimination, both the male and female get the same amount. But in the Employee State Insurance Act, that gives maternity benefit to the women. There are 6 more benefits for the employees. That is, they will get medical expenses, maternity benefit, dependent benefit, unemployment benefit, disablement benefit, funeral benefit is paid to the kin for the deceased employee. This is the Social Security Act. Apart from this act, I like to give you about the general laws, what every woman should know. That is right to free aid. When a woman goes to the police station without being accompanied by the lawyer, she has a right to get a legal aid and that should be demanded. If she didn't get the lawyer, she can demand for it. The next one is right to privacy. A woman who has been raped has a right to record her statement in a private in front of the magistrate without being overheard by anyone else, or with a lady constable or with the police officer in person. The cops will have to give a privacy to the victim without stressing her in front of the mass. The another law is the right to zero FIR. As according to the Supreme Court ruling, a rape victim can register her police complaint from any police station irrespective of the place of crime and area of jurisdiction under the zero FIR. That is, zero will be the serial number until this case transferred to appropriate jurisdiction. Then next one is right to no arrest. According to the Supreme Court ruling, women cannot be arrested after sunset and before sunrise. Except in the case of a woman has committed a serious crime, the police is required to get a writing from the magistrate explaining why this arrest is necessary during the night. And right to not being called to the police station. According to the section 160 of the Criminal Procedure Code, women cannot be called to the police station for the interrogation. The police can interrogate a woman at her residence in the presence of a women constable and the family members or friends. The next one is right to confidentiality. Under no condition, the rape victim's identity can be revealed. Neither the police nor the media can make known the name of the victim in the public. As we have lot of acts, we have many acts that supports us. It really protects us also. Again, I am quoting that use this act as a shield, not as a weapon. You can use this act as a shield to attain your goal. Never misuse the right. Of course, women are given lot of acts. Women are protected with lot of acts to attain our goal, or else go one step higher. Everyone, including women, have in the mindset that only the man can hold the important position. It is wrong. That is, taking care of the family is the responsibility of the women. That is not meant only for women. Nowadays, we can see the male partners, the spouse, male, they also accompany, they also do lot of support to the women. Otherwise, no, the people who are working, they can't come for the work. Now, a lot of women are working. They do look after the family, and they get support from their husband and the family members, and they come here and they work. Not everyone face this danger. Sometimes they may face danger. For that, we should know the act, and we should have some self-defense to protect us. Women work in the same capacity as men in all the work areas and all levels of the society. Women have acquired skills and knowledge needed to have a soaring career graph in their profession they choose. Additionally, they have all required to get hidden jobs, some of which were always thought as a men's forte. More and more women are venturing in this area traditionally dominated by the men. In short, we should focus on the goal rather than hurdles. When we focus on the problem, it seems to be bigger. Everyone, that is no gender discrimination, should face the challenges when they keep next step or when they come out of the comfort zone. It is not only for the ladies, it is for the male partner also, male counterpart also. They also face some discomfort when they come out from the comfort zone. I hope it's a time and it's a time to conclude. And before concluding, I like to share some one video and a photo of the Sheila Dibare. The Sheila Dibare became the country's first woman auto rickshaw driver when she first stepped into the male-dominated zone in the year 1988. The next one, this is what Naviga Sagar Parikrama, that is all women crew in INSV Tarini. This Naviga Sagar Parikrama is the name of expedition for circumnavigation the globe on INSV Tarini by Indian Navy Women Naval Officer. The 6-member all-women team. It is led by Lieutenant Commander Vatika Joshi. Actually, this should be our role model. When we see these girls, we all think that we can also do that, because we get support from the family. We are all in the comfort zone. We support from the state. We get support from the central government. We have lot of schemes that supports women. They all want the women to come out. Nowadays they think that women have lot of skills and they want you all to explore your skills. By keeping this in your mind, I want you all to come out and explore and come out with good colors. Actually, I like to show you the video which would motivate you people, and you can be a empowered women. Okay, you should know the rights to defend the things. You should know, and we are in the state. We should we should empower the community, certain community. We should, unless we know the rights, we are not the social workers, right? We should be very much familiar about the rights, and we should use the rights in the appropriate way. That is the thing I have to share with you, and I like to conclude this with a video. And meanwhile, if you can pose the questions in the chat box, that will be easy for me to answer to your questions. Thank you for the management for promoting, by giving me this opportunity. Especially after the video, I'll be coming back to answer your questions.
Now the platform is open for discussion. So now you can ask your queries in the chat box, and we will definitely address the questions to the dignitaries. Friends, kindly ask
Whether
your
all,
queries in the chat box, and we will definitely address the questions to the dignitaries.
I'm sharing the video. I hope you can hear the voice of this video. I want you all to watch this video for a minute. The audio is clear. Siju, can you run the video there? Questions are there. Question. Can anybody play that video which I have sent you?
Yes, ma'am. We will try from here.
Yeah. Because the audio is not clear, the video. Vanilla. Vanilla considers. Attitude. Vivekananda's attitude has been the force right from the days of Manusmriti. Don't forget.
We have been training since last 2 years as a team. If I recollect the days when we started, there could have been initial hiccups in building the team. And now we have reached a state where we can say that, okay, we are a team. So we are pretty much excited. Presently, a lot of preparations are on to get the boat ready for the long voyage.
Don't forget that we all hail from Manusmriti.
You would ask why sailing is not so popular in India. It's not popular because it's very, very expensive. It's not that we don't know. We have a very long maritime history in terms of sailing. We don't have good infrastructure.
Maybe people will change their preconceived notion about women and probably have more faith. For that matter, women will gain some confidence that, of course, if we can do, we are normal people. If we can do, they can also.
So when we first joined the boat, that time our mentor, Captain Dilip Nune, he told us to keep our gender outside the boat. By that he meant that the boat, neither the boat nor the sea knows your gender. It is not going to be merciful on you just because you are a woman. You know, it is going to treat you the same way. So might as well prepare in similar lines. Prepare for the whatever the nature is going to throw upon you, despite whatever is your gender.
I would give the Nari Shakti Puraskar to each and every girl who comes out and shares a story of inspiration.
Every mother deserves
I want to give that award
Nari
to
Shakti
our
Puraskar.
mothers, so because they have given us this life and they have given us this strength and power to reach here where we are.
If they would have said no, we wouldn't have been part of the whole this crew, and we wouldn't have been part of the history making all women circumnavigation team.
In the first place, this was a purely volunteer-based project in which all of us were given the choice to move out in case we felt that we were not up to it, and that was assessed during the training time only. a lot of volunteers had backed off, and from all the number of volunteers that were there, 6 of us were shortlisted. So we knew that we had volunteered for it, and definitely we had to face whatever there was in front of us.
Of course, like woman by nature, woman has lots of potential and power, and men as our counterpart, they do have. So the thing is that we are the only one who are demeaning ourselves that okay, the woman can't do this or woman can't do that. But the thing is that if we are an individual, we have to think from an individualistic perspective, not as whether that person is a man or a girl.
Hello? Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. We can.
To the first question, I hope this video would have answered you that why women are considered as the weaker section in society. Because women doesn't think that they are weaker section. If they think they are weaker section, they would not come out, and they will not be working in different sectors. Even I have shown you the two videos, one photo and a video, which proves that women are not the weaker section. They are equal to the men. Right? Am I clear your question?
Yeah, ma'am, we have a next question.
Yeah.
From Yashutaya. Harassment at workplace procedures are always delayed. In midst of a woman whose hesitant report the harassment incidents to complaints committee. Is there any supporting mechanism to help a victim in case of delayed procedures by management of workplace or employer?
Actually, the management should take this incident to the committees or the court. Okay. Actually, what happens? Sometimes the management hesitate to proceed this, make to move. That is the problem. Actually, awareness can be given to the workers and the management how it is important, how much it is important, how it should be proceeded. If the management also thinks that if they proceed with this case and they will be facing some trouble and the institution will get a wrong name. So from that side itself, they stop proceeding it. But this mechanism that is complaining in the when you complain the committee, that is ICC, that committee can take to the district committee, and it will be easy process that will move easier, and it will solve the problem easier. And once it is getting out of the institution is very tough. That is what I think so. Yes? Have I answered your question?
Yes, ma'am. We have a next question from YouTube.
Yeah.
As same as the women and children, there are several issues faced by men. Is there any
Of
acts
course.
regarding their protection?
Of course. In Women Harassment Act itself, they tell that if the women can harass men also, if they are also harassed, the complaint can be given in that act. Okay, yeah, as our society thinks that women are weaker section, we have to develop them, we have to make them come out, and they have, for supporting sense, they are giving lot of means act for making the women come out. Okay, so they think that male are strong enough to fight and they can come out, so that the act are very less comparing to the Women's Act. Okay, normally the act comes for supporting the vulnerable groups. Have I answered the question?
Yeah, ma'am, we have.
Any more questions?
Next, we have a question from the same person, and she's asking, ma'am, you have told the women are equal to men, then why it is mentoring women as a weaker one?
Actually, again, I'm saying that it is a mindset of the person. Okay, if you think I'm stronger, you can go out and you can shine. Okay, that is what I show the video that is what the girls are saying. We are like the man. Okay, and there are some women, and our culture also says that the women should be like this, women should not do that, women should, because of that culture and the nurturing given to a children, given to a woman, they are all like that because they have to depend on the son. They have to depend on the father for some times. They have to depend on the husband for some times because of culture is like that. We should break our culture and we have to come out. And if we want to achieve something, we have to throw this mindset. We are same. We are same as men. Yes.
You can ask your queries if anyone is interested.
If you are not able to type in the chat box, you can switch on your mic and ask to directly to ma'am if anyone want. I think, ma'am, you have cleared all the doubts from the beginning to the end. You have gone through all the parts, and
Okay.
they are clear with it.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
I hope we have come to the end of the discussion session. Thank you, Shobhi ma'am, Associate Professor, PG and Research Department of Social Work, Saraswati Tyagaraja College, for being with us and making us aware of human rights, especially on rights of women. We wish you all the very best, ma'am. Once again, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
So now I welcome Ms. Ahana P. of 3rd year BSW for vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to all, respected dignitaries of the day, teachers, and participants. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. First, I would like to extend my most sincere thanks to the management of Lisa College for allowing us to conduct this webinar. Next, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Reverend Father Jose Melatukochil, CST, Director and Founder of Lisa College, for his presence and also for inaugurating the Human Rights Week. Thank you, Father. Let me now take this opportunity to thank Dr. Benny Joseph, Principal of Lisa College, for his continuous support. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Shobi Boas, Associate Professor, Department of Social Work, Saraswati Tyagaraja College, Pollachi, who motivated us with her powerful words and spending your valuable time with us. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to thank Reverend Father Niju Talachira CST, Vice Principal, Lisa College, for his constant guidance. And I also thank Reverend Father Bobby Pololikal, CST, Manager of Lisa College, for the magnificent guidance. Thank you, Father. Next, I would like to thank all the faculty of our department for being the support system. Thank you all, the participants who have joined with us for today's section. Finally, I would like to thank our technical team, Mr. Melvin Thomas, for his continuous help. Last but not the least, a big thanks to all dear friends who made this event successful by your active participation. Thank you all. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Ahana.
Now we are come to the end of the session. I hope you all had an informative session and understand more about human right. Human Right Day theme is Recover Better. Stand up for human right. Thank you. Have a nice day.
One more thing, there is feedback link is there in the chat box, and please fill it up for your certificate.